Good evening. How are my people? Welcome to Fortune Cookies. What If Wednesday? Hello, Celtic Rune, Snow White, my darlings. So, I have a couple of what if questions today for readings, but I thought I would throw it out to you guys too. We could do some what ifs, and then I think the new thing is after I do my what ifs or whatever, I'm gonna do private readings for you guys. Well, not public private readings. Like I'll do readings for whoever's in the chat if they want them. So, doing a dangerous thing today. My witch baby soap, dragon's blood body butter on my hands, ready to go. I got my ever ready water. I got a second cup of coffee. It's a big one. So I never drink a second cup of coffee. Hi, Sherry, mon chéri. So we're doing what ifs today. What ifs? We'll just wait for a few more people to filter in. I hope you all had a great day so far. Oh, I was early too. I'm never early. And I have to apologize. I have a really badly broken nail, so I'm not perfect today. Hopefully my readings will be a little bit perfect. So let's get warming up here. So those of you that are readers, what I've got here is selenite. This is from Alicia Wicker's shop. She's got a nice selection of selenite there. I really like this one. It does work like a pencil. So what you do is you cast your circle, nice circle of white light, and send it up around you. I also breathe in and breathe out, and I just imagine this white golden bubble coming out of me, and it encircles my house, my neighbor's house, everybody on the street, keeps us all safe, keeps the boogeymans away. So I think we're going to start with the regular deck. If you all were here last night, this deck was not shuffling for me that well. It just wasn't slipping through. So, hey, Sarah. Hang on one second, sweetie pie. I'm going to turn this music down because the music is loud. I think the music feature is fun on this, but I think it can get a little bit annoying. So yeah, it seems like it's a little loud. We'll keep it down there. So all right. We should probably get started. So tonight we're doing what if readings, and then I will do pull a card for everybody in the chat if they'd like me to. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna put the not cooperative deck over on the side. Tonight I have my Joseph Magi deck out too. So there we go. And I actually was going to play around with the screens a little bit today. So we're going to do what ifs. So those of you that are familiar with these are readings where we say, what if Marilyn Monroe didn't die? Oh, beautiful. What if Elon Musk buys Twitter? So I do have a couple in my pocket, but I'm going to go with Celtic Rune Singer here. We're going to be completely random today. So let's start with that. I'm going to make myself a little bit smaller. There we go. Oh, and that's a good shot. That's a better shot of the table. What if I get a new table cover? What if Elon Musk buys Twitter? So we're actually gonna do two things here. We're gonna do what if Elon buys Musk, how it's gonna affect him, and how it's gonna affect Twitter. So, let me put your question up there, darling. What if Elon Musk buys Twitter? What if he buys Twitter? I love this idea. Okay, so this is how it's going to affect him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How it's going to affect Twitter. How come I can't do this? Oh my God, I'm trying to do like the same pattern in the opposite direction. All right, so Elon Musk buys Twitter. How is it going to affect him? So this is an interesting card because the Page of Swords is electronic media, internet communication, email, that sort of stuff, text messaging. So this says it's going to turn it on its head. So we're going to see this electronic media being turned on its head for the better. So this is actually going to round out the career of the actual Twitter. It's going to and I know I'm reading in two different ways, but for Elon Musk, this is going to round out like the purpose of Twitter, if that makes sense. So Twitter had a specific purpose, and this is going to round it out. There's going to be a lot of changes that will be made if he does take it. That is his purpose. The drive, and those of you that know me, he's really hard to read for Elon Musk. The drive is to go straight ahead and kind of tear it down to the foundation and rebuild. That's really kind of the vibe that I get here. And it's not something that he was expecting to get involved in. It's not something that he really, this is like kind of like, I'm just going to try it. I'm going to take this over and I'm going to see if I can do something with it. One of the things is I think Elon Musk said the best way to like learn about engineering and mechanics is to take something apart. I'm far too neurotic to do something like that, but and there's it's been kind of a sleeper situation. He's ready to come out of that. He's ready to double down and start making offers. So that's pretty cool. So what is it going to do to Twitter? This is Twitter, the entity. So the secrets are going to be revealed to much dismay. It is going to halt the progress of what it was doing. So whatever the purpose of Twitter is, whatever purpose it is serving, it's going to halt that process in its tracks. And it's going to conclude. Y'all know what this is. This is my gaslighting card. This is gaslighting revealed. Gaslighting revealed. The smoke is going to clear away. So we're going to see some revelations. It looks like some interesting things that are going on behind the scenes. I think that's going to be revealed, and that's probably going to be the issue with him picking it up. Will he be able to buy it? Let's take a look at that. I know he has the money, but will he be able to buy it? So yes, it's kind of an odd situation. Yes, the sellers are trying to figure out how they can best take advantage of him. I can't put it any other way. They're trying to figure out how they can jack him up because he's got the means. They want to get more of the money out of him. But this is a yes card. So that Ace of Wands is a yes card. That looks like it could happen, but there's going to be a lot more negotiating that has to happen. So that is a very interesting read. Celtic, you want me to see if there's anything else there? You want to ask any more questions about that? Guys, this is my good friend JT Burkhardt. He is actually one of the super coolest people I know. I'm giving you a huge shout out right now. He is a paranormal investigator, and he is also Sweaty Mac, super car extraordinaire dude. But him and his wife are paranormal investigators. It's very cool, and I love them so much. So that is pretty good. Let you know what? Let's just do that for fun, JT. Let's see what would happen if Will Smith slapped Elon. So, sorry, my hair is all over the place. What if Will Smith slapped Elon Musk? Oh, these are fun. These are fun. Oh, it would be on, and it would be the end of days. Probably big fat lawsuit. So not like what we're seeing with what's going on with Chris Rock. But I did my reading on that. I have my own opinion. So we've got JT. Thank you, and thank you, Celtic Rune, for throwing out a question there. What if this war? We got Snow White here. What if this war is for the one world order? What if? What if? What if? This is going to be a tricky one. So what if it was, if this was for the one world order, we would be moving on to greater prosperity. Now follow me here. Okay. So this Queen of Wands is greater prosperity and things done. This is endeavors and rebuilding and all that excitement with a higher mind. But then, boom, shakalaka, it comes crashing down. And then we have struggles and difficulty balancing. So, if I think, from what I know about, like New World Order and all that thinking and conspiracy theory, you have to get everybody to go along with the idea. You can't have any holdouts, because then you wind up with a Hunger Games situation where you've got District 12 that does, or District 13 that has the uprising, and you have to have everybody come along. It has to be universal, or you got to eliminate your opposition. So here I go with my second cup of coffee today. This is dangerous stuff. I'm gonna be up all night. So not sure about that. You want me to ask another question there, hon? All right. So, Gilded Age Girl, my darling. Yes, I love the Joseph Magi deck. It's really great. And I actually reached out to him to get some private coaching, and he was super gracious. So totally gave me some private coaching. It was really, really nice. So, all right. What if the Oscars board members changed their rules of conduct? Because do you mean prior to the Oscars? Like if that was changed prior to the Oscars, or if it was changed after? So I think let's see. Let's do this. Let's see if they changed the rules before, and if they changed them after. Now, just a disclaimer, just a little background here. So after the Kanye West incident, there were a lot of rules that were changed about security and how those shows are run. I know this from my ex-husband because he still works in the industry. So Oh, Gilded Age Girl. Oh, darling. All right, so that's tomorrow. So we might veer right into Will Smith on this one. So for entertainment purposes only. What if did the Oscars board change their rules of conduct prior that would allow him on the stage? So we'll do that. So it looks like possibly there were some things changed, some contracts made to make it more fun so that people could have more fun. And that opened the door for this situation, for this fight situation. So let's take a look. And if we veer away from the what ifs, so be it. Not a big deal. All right, so let's go. And let's see if they will change their rules now, if they're going to change the rules now. So that's weird. All right, so we've got our shady card here. So there's going to be something that's done. The preservation, the concern that they have here is about her, Jada Pinkett Smith. I think that it's not going to be the conduct of the crowd. I think it's going to be the conduct of the comedians. Or the presenters, I should say the presenters. Yeah, guess what? I don't think we're going to see comedians there anymore. I don't think we're going to see any fun jokes. I think it's all going to be about lauding the people that, and I'm sorry if you can't see this. I think the banner might be in the way. I think it's going to be all about, just singing the praises of all these artists. I think that's what's going to happen. I don't think we're going to see like these funny deprecating jokes and whatnot. I mean, Ricky Gervais is now out of there. We don't have him there anymore. He was masterful at that. But it looks like there's going to be some rules put in place about making fun of people. So now they're going to legislate jokes. That's great. Great. So let's take a look. Let's see. Was he asked to leave? Did they ask him to leave? Yep. Star card's usually a yes. So it looks like they asked him to leave. What was his response? Oh, we're not taking those. That was a whole clump of cards. What was his response? So he said, just like he's been yelling about, he did it for love. I think he knew he was getting the Oscar. I think he wasn't missing out on that. It wasn't really successful. They weren't really thrilled about it, but they didn't have an alternate plan to not give him the Oscar. So that's where all this is coming in. They would have been in a tough spot because, we wait for Best Picture, we wait for Best Actor. they would have been in a situation, it would have been even worse, and it would have been worse for his reputation had they given that Oscar to no one, and just announced it. Like, that would have been very, very awkward. They felt like it was already awkward enough, and they didn't want it to go any further. So this is the board going to do moving forward. Woo, my throat is on fire doing this reading, guys. For entertainment purposes only. I hope no one's watching this. It's going to get me in trouble. You know, when you're sensitive like that, you sometimes get like different bodily sensations. Like my throat is on fire. It's probably me, I shouldn't be talking. So they are going to establish new rules. They're going to stop things. Again, here we got stop, hard stop. They can't let esoteric jokes go anymore. Like, they can't have jokes. They can't have jokes. Like, we can't have fun. This is why we can't have nice things. And this is trying to legislate people being nice to each other. That's what they're trying to do. We have to legislate people being nice. I have always said to my kids, you cannot legislate people being nice to you. My son did get bullied when he was younger, and he was kind of little, comparison to the other kids. And I told him we can't get mad and like start screaming at the other parents, and because that's not how it works. You can't write rules for people to be nice to you. You make friends or you don't make friends. So let me see. Did I miss anything? Yes, he refused. And they let him stay. People magazine. Yes, JT, the world is going to be sad without comedians. That is true. So, and we had some Bruce Willis news today. I don't know if you guys heard about that. Yeah, you should have been taking it. Will they take the Oscar away? We'll get to Bruce Willis in a minute. So, will they take the Oscar away? Will they take it away? There's going to be a strong reprimand, and I don't think they're going to take it away. I don't think they're going to remove that. But I think what they're going to do is it's a black mark on him. He'll never get another Oscar. He will never get another Oscar. It doesn't matter what he does. So he will never, ever, ever get another one. He's out of the running. I don't even think they'll have him back there. I don't know if he'll be allowed. His wife will be allowed. He's not going to be front row anymore if he is there. He's going to be way in the back, and he's going to be mad about it. He's going to be really, really mad about it. So I think, letting him keep it, but not letting him play the reindeer games anymore is probably a worse punishment, because it's just going to sit there and remind him of his... Remember when we were kids and we used to say, I muffed up, trying not to lie? His muff up. He muffed up. He muffed up big time. JT, I know you remember that one. I muffed up. So that is unfortunate. Let's do a check-in on him, even though we're supposed to be doing what ifs. Let's do a check-in on him. Well, wait a minute. What if he just dealt with that at the Vanity Fair party? Because apparently he was at the Vanity Fair party justifying what he did to anybody who would listen. So what if he dealt with it at the Vanity Fair party in quasi-private? What if? What if? This top card is dying to come out. Whoop. So the event would have been bad. So what if he dealt with it in private? The event would have been bad. Okay. It would have been a scene. If he sat on it and then created a ruckus at the Vanity Fair, sat on it at the awards, and then if he brought it up at Vanity Fair party, it would have been a ruckus. It would have been drama. It would have, temporarily put a damper on the party. Ultimately, I think he would have been asked to leave because I think he would have been in the same condition, mental and emotional condition. But it would have preserved his reputation. He would have walked away with his reputation. It would have been like a line item that we read about in the tabloids. It wouldn't be something that, everyone was discussing out loud right now. It wouldn't be everywhere. So, well, that's a shame. That's a shame. Should have made a choice. Better choice. So let's skip on over to Bruce Willis, and we'll look at some of the happier stuff. So Bruce Willis has retired from acting officially, permanently. He has been diagnosed with something called aphasia. Now, I actually had a head injury a number of years ago and had something called language aphasia. And the way that it was affecting me, I also had, significant seizures from it. But the way that the language aphasia was affecting me was I would be looking at a chair. I would want to say chair, and I could spell out chair, CHAIR. But when I went to say, I could see the word in my head, and when I went to say it, it would be sofa, or it would be anything but chair. It's an incredibly, and I was an adult when that happened, so it was incredibly frustrating. The recovery process is somewhat complex in terms of therapy. Every now and then, I do kind of feel that happening again, but I know the tools they have to use. So they're not giving us a cause as to why he has this aphasia. It can be caused by head injury. It can be caused by an old residual injury. It can be caused by a stroke. I think there are a few other things that they could attribute it to. So let's take a look at what if him and Demi Moore never got divorced. What if they never got divorced? So, contracts broken. Devil in reverse is always like contracts broken, splitting up, a divergence. When we're talking about marriages, it's a divergence from the pairing. Okay, so they were committed, but the relationship was a divergence. They diverted from each other, and it was a struggle. And there were things that they were keeping from each other, which is really odd because they were together for such a long time. And it looks like even if they had stayed together, I get the sense that there was a portion of their marriage where they stayed together and they were both kind of functioning as single people, or like kind of like married light, if you know what I mean, like just kind of, moving on into like the last phases of a marriage before divorce. So that's very sad. But they would have been good to each other. I don't want to say they were like cheating, but they would have been good and conscientious to each other. It would have been like they were very gracious about it. And I believe they have one of the best co-parenting situations in LA. People talk about that. You know, they very, very good co-parents. Even when she went to, oh, good gracious, where'd she go? Idaho? Like she disappeared to Idaho for a bunch of years. It was kind of crazy. So let's do a check-in on him, not a what if. Let's just see how he's doing. If he's really gonna retire forever. I think he's adorable. Just saying. Shout out in the comments. Die Hard? Christmas movie or not? And remember, like, share, and subscribe, please, if you haven't already. I know I've got a lot of my faves on here right now. So, Bruce Willis, current pressure check. Temperature check. This is exactly what I would expect from him. So he doesn't want anybody babying him. Stop babying me. Like, I'm okay. We just got to deal with this. He's doubling down on all of the therapies. He is really digging deep to try and resolve whatever issue it is. Now, whether or not that brings him back to acting, I don't think he's worried about acting. I think he's just worried about being able to communicate effectively and getting his processes back in place and getting his faculty. And to be sure, aphasia, it's not really a diminishment, a diminishing of your intellectual abilities. It's the processing that goes wrong. At least that's what it was for me. And I loved him in Moonlighting too, Gilded Age Girl. So it's really a processing issue. So it's not like a dementia or like a shrinking of the brain or anything like that. It's a little bit different. And at least that's what they did say in the articles that have been posted so far. So I hope that that's true, because I think he's swell. I want to bring the word swell back. We'll start bringing it back on this channel. We'll start using the word swell. So will we ever see him act again? I think one of my favorite movies with him is Death Becomes Her. I thought he was great in that. Acting-wise, I thought he was great. Will he act again? In fact, I may watch that tonight. Maybe in the future. There has to be a very radical change. And again, he's just not really thinking about it. He's not really, he's just not really focused on that. He's focused on just putting himself back together. So we'll all send him some good vibes. I think he's got a second set of younger kids too. So, super cute. He is cute. So, all right. And I'm going to go back in the comments. What if Kathy Hilton takes the crown of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills from her sister, Kyle Richards? All right. So I don't watch this show at all. I know my gal, Alicia Wicker, does. But let's see. Let's see what I come out. Let's see how good of a psychic I am. So what if Kathy Hilton, I know who that is, takes the crown from Kyle Richards? Who's the one with the cat, with the Smudge, the cat in the meme? It's one of them, isn't it? Isn't that one of the Real Housewives? Kathy Hilton takes the crown from Kyle Richards. Celtic Rune, this is an unexpected question from you. Well, she's not going to be quiet about it. Oh, there's some shady stuff going on. So she definitely would rub it in her face and be completely obnoxious about it. And there'd be a lot of shade thrown around. She wouldn't be quiet. She'd be really, really difficult. And she would never let her live it down. Now, in the meantime, Kyle would start working on her plan to enact revenge. So WWWKD, what would Kyle do? So what Kyle would do is she would take it on the chin. She would let Kathy roll over her in terms of like, here, I'll move this a little bit more this way. She'd let Kathy roll all over her in terms of insulting her. And then she would reveal some information, get super, super happy, and then it would all start all over again. So that's like an endless cycle of push and pull with the two of them. So that I hope that answered that question. Oh, Sherry, I'm seeing your message up there. I am sorry. That's terrible. Good vibes to you, my darling. Good vibes. And to you too, Julie. Holy crow. So yeah, the head injuries. You know, one of the things when I had my head injury and I went to the doctor, I went to one of the best neurologists in the world, and he told I said to him I had very, very severe grand mal. And I said to him, okay, you're a doctor. We're here in LA. Like, just fix it. Like, what do you do? Like, do you do surgery? Do you give me medicine? Like, what do you do? And he said to me something that was really shocking. He goes, we really don't know how the brain works. So, and I was like, well, wait, what? Like, they really don't know how the brain processes. They have an idea. They know a few things, but they don't know exactly how it works. So there are some things that they can't fix. That's very disturbing to me. Very, very, very interesting. But so Kath Kelly's got a good one. Ooh, all right. I'm gonna break this one down now. I will break this one down. What if? And he got another whoop today. Whoop. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it. The algorithms pick it up, or the secret people that are listening. Oh, I'm whispering. So what if Biden steps down due to health? I'm going to leave out the time frame on that. We'll just keep it open. What if he steps down due to health? And let's tell a big story, okay? A little worried about this one. There's our lady wearing the crown, making poor decisions, not taking care of business, and bringing us to a rapid conclusion and a new beginning. Oh, I don't know what that was. There was a big hiccup on my computer. What kind of new beginning are we talking about? What kind of beginning? New beginnings that will get us caught up in a trap, get us stuck into different situations. So let's take a look at her. We all know who this is, right? This is Kamala. Kamala. That part of the song, you just laugh. Oh boy. This will be her true moment, and she will be tested to see how well she will perform. I think she will perform better than expected. It that actually tells us this would be better than expected. Um, but to what end? To what ends? And I'm going to pull out the Magi cards. Let's do this. To what end? We're looking at Kamala right now. Kamala. What if Kamala takes over? What if Kamala takes over? Truth be told, when I saw him getting that whoop today after his conference, he is a frail old man. I get very, very nervous about that. I'm not being an ageist, but he does not look like he's got much time in him. Just saying. What if Kamala takes over? What if Kamala takes over? We say boom shakalaka laka, boom shakalaka laka. So by some magic, there's going to be so we got Magi cornucopia, which is plenty. The Magi is all knowing, all seeing, magical, inspirational, gifted intellectually. And cornucopia is giving us more. Of course, we all know what a cornucopia is. And then we have Scourge, which is the pain after the fact. Okay, we're going to pull these down just a wee bit. Just a wee bit. Broken Chalice. Partnerships severed. But then new partnerships made. Huh. I think we're going to have to take out the Wicker deck, too. Let's get that out. And I go for broke on this. This is Alicia Wicker's deck. I go for broke on this. I just shuffle them all. I'm just like, let's do them all. We got a great big deck here. We'll just shuffle them all. I didn't break them up, so we'll just see what comes out. What is this? Make up and break up. We got a break up and then we got a joining up. So it's like we're going to sever our relationship with one team and create a relationship with a new team. I can't wait for Alicia to see this. I can't believe that I just shuffled all those cards and I did not drop them once. There is not one sloppy shuffle. Oh. Okay. So we got that. Oh, and then we got that. This is for our partnership that we're developing. And then we have the river. That is very interesting. Who's the old partner that we have here? The old partner. Let's take a look at the old. That's the new partner. Let's see who our old partner was. So our old partner is part of this jealousy child trapped triangle over here. And then the new partner is part of the cult, deep fake, and river. The river, that's part of her true crime part of the deck. So we're just going to hold off on that. And then, woo! That was kind of crazy. We're going to go back, do a little bit more. So, see, what if Biden's health deteriorates? What if his health deteriorates? What's going to happen? We'll do US and Europe, okay? What if his health deteriorates? There's our leader. US. There it is again. This is Europe. So, if his health deteriorates, what's going to happen is we're going to have disagreements within the parties. Okay. So, when we have the king, sometimes they can represent the political party. So, we're going to have massive, massive disagreements here. They're going to need to come to a swift and sure response. They're going to be on separate sides of the table on this. They're not going to, no one's going to be happy at the end of this. And then I think this is our gal that gets into the situation here. But like I said in that last reading, I don't think she's going to be as bad as we think she is. I think, she'll do what she has to do, but I don't think she's going to be as bad. Not including public speaking. Let me grab some coffee. This is a double chocolate coffee, which is the most delicious thing I've ever had. I'm going to regret it in an hour. I'll be wide awake. So now Europe, what if his health deteriorates? Europe is actually going to fare a little bit better. They're not going to have all this complication. And it's almost like if he has to step down or step back, what's going to happen is Europe is going to be able to be, and I'm speaking of Europe as like the whole thing, they're going to be able to be a bit more autonomous. They're not going to have to answer to the superpower across the sea. They're not going to have to cooperate with the superpower across the sea. It's almost like they're going to make their own answers. They're going to make their own solutions. And I feel like Germany is going to just really start to stand up a little bit more. They're really the closest to what's going on in the Ukraine over there. And it feels like Germany's going to take a much larger seat and a much larger step forward. But it's going to be, somewhat complicated there for a bit. There's going to be some power struggles. Whenever you take the head off something, a new head has to step in. It feels like Germany's going to try and make that their position. They want to be like the spokesperson of Germany, of Europe. Ultimately, they're all going to get into a better cooperation. But there's going to be this look back to when they were more independent, like not the European Union, and there's going to be a revisiting of those harder lines between the countries instead of having more gray lines between them. That's something that is definitely going to happen. And even though this one, like planet Earth world order, even though that is kind of a theme, it really does feel that the different cultures in Europe are now starting to be regretful. They don't want to be a melting pot like the United States. They don't want to be blended. They really want to preserve their cultures. And there's I think going to be almost like a revolution, like a cultural revolution, where they start to push back and they want to be more French or more German or more Azerbaijanian. That it really does feel like that there's going to be a push for that. That was not expected. That was not expected. So So there we go. There we go. So I'm going to go back to the comments. See what else we got here. Yes. Sixth Sense was awesome. Hilaria Baldwin. Hilaria Baldwin is pregnant with her 7th child. I just don't think that my body could take 7 children. We'll check in with them. 7th child. Alec Baldwin and Hilaria, who doesn't know how to say cucumber in Spanish, even though she's allegedly a native Spanish, or doesn't know how to say cucumber in English, even though she is allegedly an English speaking person. There goes my sloppy shovel. All right. 7th child, Alec Baldwin and Hilaria. How old is she? Sound off in the comments if you know how old she is. Oh, really? Sorry, guys. I am sorry. This is for entertainment purposes only, but I think that they are having this baby to restore his reputation after, because when you're about to go through a court case for accidentally shooting someone on your movie set because you were having silly time and not using NRA based safety measures or recommended safety measures, getting through the troubled times, trying to find the resurrection and adulation again, using the coming together of the seed and egg. I'm sorry, that's all I can say. This should be, who's going to get mad at someone whose wife is pregnant? Who's going to send a new father to jail? Who's going to do that? I don't know. That would be terrible. Not so bad. It looks like it was his idea. And I think she went right along with it, like, yeah, who doesn't love babies? I love babies. I don't know. Some people don't love babies, but I think they're great. I would have had 1 million, but they're super expensive. And, you can't have 7. 7's a lot. So this is going to be just like yay, look at us. We have new baby. They're going to use the new baby as, I don't want to say shield, but looks like it's going to be a shield to just kind of preserve him. Let's take a look at what's going on. I never did a reading on that because, I grew up in a family that always had firearms and safety. I have a family now that, has firearms and is into safety. I don't think that having guns is for everybody. I don't think everybody should have a gun. I think it should be a choice if you are super, super responsible, but I think you do need to be super, super responsible, like over the top responsible. It's driving a car times 8,000. We taught the kids gun safety early on because we had guns here. We taught them how to shoot, taught them how to take apart a gun, how to clean a gun, how to do what you got to do with a gun. Go to the gun club, but we don't like run around. But that was one of the things. Immediately after it happened, I said, that's really unfortunate. What was the situation with the armorer? And it looks like just some things were not done correctly. So I didn't want to do any readings on that. But Let's see Alec Baldwin and the case, how that's going to turn out. We'll just do this real quick. So there were rules that were not followed. Things were not followed, but he's going to try and cover that up with the thing that we just talked about, having the baby. I'm a family man. I'm a responsible man. I would never ever do this. I would, he's going to try and cover it up with his good reputation. And to be sure, I loved him in Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice is one of my favorite movies, and I loved him in that. And I hate that he's like just kind of a big mouth. He's kind of a big mouth. But I guess when you're a Baldwin, Hollywood royalty, you're going to be a big mouth. So he wants to restore his reputation in town. And he's kind of going about it all the wrong way. His emotions are not right. He's very very childlike in the way that he defends himself. He will yell and he will stamp his foot, and it's very, I don't want to say very dramatic, but it's very immature how he would debate something. So this is a little bit of troubling. Wow, my viewership dropped super a whole lot. I hope it's not because I said that I was like guns, but I like guns. So something's going to come out of this. Some information's going to come out that's going to turn everything on its head. So we haven't heard the last of this. I don't think. I think there's going to be more information that comes out. I think there's going to be some more evidence that comes out, possibly actually the footage, if there's some kind of footage going on. There's definitely some more that's going to come out. It's not going to put him in the best light. So let's see if he's going to have to do any time or if he's going to have to do money. People in Hollywood don't go to jail. It's like vampires don't do dishes. So it looks like there's going to be some money that goes. This is potentially like a house arrest kind of thing, some kind of restriction, but I'm not seeing actual prison. I don't feel like it's going to be actual prison. So that's what we got about Alec Baldwin. So what time we're coming up on 8:00. Let me see if anybody has any questions. Hi, Christine. Oh yeah, Julie. I love mixing cards. I'll mix cards all day long. I got a bazillion different decks, so I don't have a problem with that. And all right, so what we can do now is I can open it up for readings for you guys. So, and I put up want to support my channel, you can do that at the link below. Or not the link below. I've got it in the scroll. So wait, now I have my girl here. Where is she? Sarah. I want to know what's going on with my boyfriend and what about his feelings toward me. What is going on with your boyfriend? Let's see what's going on with your boyfriend. While I'm doing this, if you guys have questions, if you want to do a reading for yourself or for any celebrity, just let me know. Your boyfriend. Woo! A lot of coins here. So he's all about himself right now. And he's all about just kind of taking care of his own stuff. He's taken inventory over his life recently. like in the last year or so. And he's trying to figure out exactly how he wants to live and what he wants his life to be like, what kind of future he wants for himself. So that's really what he's trying to figure out. He's still working on setting up his life. He doesn't have his life set yet. And like I said, he doesn't really see things from other people's perspectives. He's a little bit blind to that. But he's growing up. So he's getting to a point where, and that's Raven upstairs barking. She says hi to all of you guys. So things are going to change. So now the whole question was, that's what's going on with him. Let's see what his feelings are toward you. Let's see what his feelings are toward you. And for my regulars here, guys, I think I'm going to start doing this. I think I'm going to do the What If Wednesdays, and I'll probably do like a Tarot Tuesday or something like that. And we'll open it up for, pick a card readings. I'll do real quick readings for you guys. As always, you can always book a private reading with me. The link is in my description. And super fun. I do them by Zoom. I do them live. Like, we're actually like having a conversation on Zoom. And I can even make a recording of it if you want that. So, what are his feelings toward you, Sarah? What are his feelings for you? Oh, Sarah, he likes you. Look at that. Undeniable. He's into you. But he's still trying to sort himself out. Still trying to figure out his life. But he's got a good idea of where he wants to go. He doesn't feel like he is in a position yet where he can have like a formal, marriage commitment. He's not at that point in his life yet. He wants to have much, much bigger bank account, and he wants to be much more settled and know what direction he's going in, which is really hard for like some young people. If he's just starting out, I know it's kind of tricky for you guys. The economy's crummy. Things are terrible. It's just a little bit hard to kind of get yourself settled at this point. But now this is a rough card when it's upright, but when it's in reverse, and the cards, those of you that follow me, they don't mean the opposite when they're in reverse. They're a variation of the card. That's kind of the best way I can explain it. So when we've got this, he's coming out of some kind of dilemma, some kind of confusion, and this is loosening up. The clouds are lifting, and he's loosening up out of that. So that's really where I think he's at. So let's go a little bit further. Pumpkin, is he the one? Let's see if he's the one. The one. And I've had like a couple of ones in this lifetime. The one I'm with now is my love of my life, but still struggling with it. He's still trying to figure out if you guys are gonna go the distance, walk down the aisle and go the distance. So there it is. But he's a good guy. He likes you. I wouldn't shy away from that. So good luck with him, darling. Okay, let's see this. Who do we have here? Gilded Age Girl. There's my darling. Will you be moving in the future? Let's see. So that devil in the middle, everybody always gets nervous when they see the devil. Don't get nervous when you see the devil. He means all kinds of cool stuff. So the devil in the middle is about watch your back here. Okay. So this is watch what you are setting in motion. All right. The there's something about the move that there's a motivating factor from your past. There's something that you want to recreate or something that you want to. I don't want to say this is keeping up with the Joneses. I don't know if it's a keeping up with the Joneses kind of thing, but there you want something better, okay? But you have to watch out because it's like if you move on to the new thing now, if you move to a new place now, it's going to seem really great. It's going to be all this glitz and glamour, and it's going to be new and great, and you're going to get there, and then like the foundation is going to have termites, and it's going to be a disaster. So you have to be very careful. The want to move needs to be tempered with the practicality of a move. Now I'm a Cancer, so like I need to have a really solid home life, and if I'm not happy in my home, I'm not happy at all. It's really terrible. So we're very fussy like that. So this, like, the enthusiasm and the industry of trying to get into that new place may eclipse some you may get blinders on and not be able to see that there are going to be some pitfalls there. So I would hold off for a bit. One of the things that I can tell you is that the where you plant your roots, you can do all sorts of interesting stuff. So one of the things, the website that I have for my tarot business is Fortune Cookies Tarot and Charming Homes, because my girlfriend Shelly, who's on here sometimes, Shelly Rage, she does little charms. She does all sorts of neat stuff, and so we were going to do some home products. As the pandemic started to go away, we had some supply issues, but we were going to do like cool little things like charms for your house, which is great. The efforts that you put into your house, cleaning and repair wise, those are practical. But there's a certain magic that you can do to your house, and it doesn't really require anything. I always clean clockwise circles. And it's awkward if you're right-handed. I always clean clockwise circles. Um, you know, Cleaning out the refrigerator before you get more food. And I know this sounds really practical, but the day that you go grocery shopping, if you clean that fridge out, you don't get that stagnant energy. Any of you that have studied, feng shui, not getting the energy stuck in the corners, that sort of stuff. But I have a feather duster, a natural feather duster with like these crazy. They're not ostrich feathers, but I think they're rhea. Rhea is the bird that contributes the feathers to feather dusters. But I will go around and just the act of dusting, you're actually moving the energies that are getting caught in the corners of your house. I burn incense constantly. I'm actually not burning any right now, and I don't feel right. But my magic shack that's outside, I've already sprinkled salt all on the inside. It does a couple of things. First of all, it deters some bugs, so there's not going to be some bugs in there. But it does create a protective circle around. So I'm going to be doing lots of fun stuff like this out in my magic shack. So I want to make sure that it is as pure spirit as possible. Also, I'm going to have my herb plants planted around it. So I'm trying to plot that out with the sun. So I've got everything in containers right now. And even though it's like sub-zero temperatures here in New Jersey, we actually had like another cold spell tomorrow. It is supposed to be like 73 degrees. It was like 20 degrees the other day, and it was like 73 degrees tomorrow. And then we're supposed to get thunderstorms and 60 mile an hour winds. So I don't even know what's going on. Spring is not coming. Our apparently before Groundhog Day, someone dropped our groundhog here in the tri-state area, and he died on Groundhog's Day. So we're just gonna have winter forever. So, but so there it is. I think utilizing some of those magic tricks. There's a great book from the Llewellyn Company by Scott Cunningham. It's called The Magical Household. It's actually really cool. I don't know if it's still in print. You could probably get it in digital format, but The Magical Household gives you lots of cool stuff. You can set out a bowl of water and make moon water on a full moon, and you can spray that in your house, spray it on the windows, and you protect it from prying, creeps or anything like that. You can also there's a cool spell that I do that you use a bunch of keys that don't belong to any locks in your house. You go around, you touch them all to the doorknobs. You say a little, keep this house safe. Lock out the thieves. And then you tie it up with a red ribbon and you hang them over the doors. So you can do that. What else? What else can you do? Other magical things that I do around my house. The big bubble that I blow when I cast my circle before I do readings. When I do that, it's interfered with my GPS. You can't find our house on GPS, so I don't feel bad about that. We're like in the back cave, but you can find us on GPS before I moved in. Started doing all that crazy stuff. So let me see, Gildy Girl. I just saw you comment on there. So appreciate where you are for a while. That's cool. Yeah, just kind of houses are neat. Like they my girlfriend Dorothy is she teaches yoga, and I did a class with her last week. She has a new studio space, and I gave her a reading after, and one of the things I said to her, and it came through very strong, her house loves her. Her house is so happy with her in there. And I said, your house is really happy. Like, it really likes you, but it wants roses on those back fences. And she was like, how do you, I was like, you have roses there. And she goes, yeah. And I said, the house wants you to plant more roses down the fence in the back. Like you have to, the house wants more roses. And she was like, well, the house is going to have to wait. So, houses they have a pulse. They have a spirit about them. Your house has to like you, and you have to like it. So, just kind of hunkering down and getting cozy, and maybe getting to know it a little bit better. And you can do that. I love incense. Incense is a big one for me. Some people do it like with fresh flowers. They do like an offering to the house. I know one of the things when if you ever do construction on the house, anybody who believes in fairies or anything like that, you should do an offering to the fairies. You just take like, I don't know, some graham crackers and some coins and maybe some sparkly ribbon, and you just put it in the corner of the house and just kind of leave it there, and so they don't play any tricks when you're doing your construction. So it's that kind of thing. So Gilded Age Girl, one last thing, like if you have any animals around your house, I think that I'm getting really, really strongly right now that you should set out like a bird feeder or something. Yeah, that's kind of crazy, but like I'm getting bird feeder. Like the birds want to they want to provide more energy at your house or something. So if you can get like a stick-on one that like goes on the window or something, and do that kind of throw that in there. That's gonna bring some more energy to your house. Like I said, our houses do a lot for us, and a lot of the time we complain because we have mortgages or repairs or whatever. But we do have to nurture them as a member of the family. So 6 cats, holy moly, that's a lot of energy there. So all right, so you're welcome, honey. So Rebecca, is there something you need to know instantly? Hands up, who's old like me thinking about Duran Duran? There was that Duran Duran song, Please Please Tell Me Now. I loved them. So Rebecca, is there something you need to know? World's worst psychic. Nope. No, I'm kidding. No, you're good. You're all good. No, here we go. Here we go. Something Rebecca needs to know. Is there something Rebecca needs to know? So, what the cards tell me is that you have waited long enough. You have rested, you have waited, you have wrung your hands over this too much. You have something going on with you that you're trying, that is just dying to burst out of you. There is something going on that you're holding yourself back. There's some indifference, maybe some insecurity that's going on. The cards are telling you now is the time to bust out. You've thought all that you needed to do about this. And tell me if I'm getting this right, because it's coming through super, super strong. So you really need to, you know what you know. And you're still in the beginning stages of whatever this is. If it's like a new job or a new project or something, whatever it is, you're in the beginning stages, but you have to jump in with both feet. You have to get in there and you have to do it. So, it's like the throw mama from a train. A writer writes. A writer doesn't sit around and talk about being a writer. A writer gets in there and gets their hands dirty and goes nuts and just makes it happen. For me, I'm a fiction writer. So like one of the things that I do, and I just taught my son this because he's a lazy boy and he doesn't like to type. So I said, just use the dictate feature on your Word or on your emails, whatever you have to do. Use the dictate feature. You can do that in the car. You can just pop, 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 and you're good to go. So if this is what you've been thinking about, okay. Oh wait, you answered. Okay. Okay, yes. All right. Yay, I'm on the ball. So this says, you need to just grab your purse and go for it. Let me say. Whoop. Shuffle those back in. All right, we got 15 minutes, guys. So if you want to get read, put your questions in the chat. I'm going to try and get to them. 15 minutes. And tell me how you like this. If you like this format where I do, like the feature of the day, and then I bust into readings for you guys. So stop agonizing about it. I'm still on you, Rebecca. Stop agonizing about it, okay? If you're going to go, if you're not happy, if the boss you have is not serving you well, then what's the alternative to looking and seeing what's out there? We are in the best job market that we've ever seen in the last like 20, 30 years. So and it's a player's market. It is an employee's market. Okay. So get out there, dust the cobwebs off, revise that resume. Make sure your resume looks really, really good. Have somebody else look at it, and let them know exactly what you are. No one honks your horn unless you do. That's really important. That's you hear the jersey coming out. The stronger my readings, the more the jersey comes out. But I think that's good. I think you've got a good plan here. And you know what? Sometimes it takes 6 months to get a job. So, sometimes you just have to start. You got to start looking at the the Tinder and swiping left and just not answering anybody, and then all of a sudden something might jump out at you. I always tell people, we're pet people over here. We have 3 cats, and we have 1 dog right now, but we lost a cat and a dog in September. It was awful. We lost them both on the same day. They were both very, very old, and one we knew we were going to the vet, and the other one the cat decided to exit on the same day. All on his own. It was terrible. It was a very rough day. But why was I saying that? Oh, yes. I always tell people that the right dog will find you a lot of the time. So even though Ronald Reagan said the best way to get over losing a dog, is to get another. Sometimes you have to wait for the new dog to come to you. And that's happened to me a couple of times. The new dog has come to us. So my husband and I were talking about getting another dog this spring, but I told him the other day, I think that we need to really focus on Raven. She has a weight problem. She wants to do more stuff. So I don't think adding a puppy into her life is going to be great. Let's see. Jen, are you going to, will you get the job? Let's see. Let's do this. Let's go. Let's see what you need to know for the interview. Okay. Let's look at that first. Balance. Okay, that's our first thing. Okay, so when you go in there, go in with a very tempered composure. Okay, go in there. Make sure you don't drink too much coffee. Make sure you're not too sleepy. Go in there with a very measured response to everything that they say. Okay, just take a breath, and remember, it's not a race. You have a few minutes to answer their questions. You're not going to have they're going to ask you some questions, and you're not going to have the answers to all of them. What I work in sales in my day job. So, a lot of the time when someone stumps you with a question, I work in account management, it's not technically sales, but it's sort of sales. When someone asks me a question, if I don't know the answer to it, sometimes it's really good to ask a question back. So, why did the price of this go up so much? Well, you can turn that around and say, there's supply chain issues. We have some issues with pricing with that. What is your budget? You can kind of turn around and get them talking. So, that's one of the things. So if they ever stump you in this interview, okay, you can always turn those questions around. So if they ask you a question about the industry that you don't know, you can turn around and say, what component of the industry is that? Is there more information you can give me about that? So they're going to like that. They're going to like the inquisitive. They don't want to hear, I don't know, but they're going to like the inquisitive. Don't be disappointed if they don't offer the job to you. There's value in everything. They may not offer it to you right out the door. So you always have to remember, in the interview process, you cannot be the best person that they've interviewed, but in 2 weeks, you might be the best person that they've interviewed, if that makes sense. If you're first in an interview, I don't know if that's the best place to be, because they really do want to see other people. I recently interviewed for another position, and I'm being incredibly patient about it within my same company. But I'm being incredibly patient about it because I know they have to make the right decision, and I know they've got to look at other people. They can't just look at me and go. I mean, I think I'm great, but you have to give them a chance to look at some other candidates. And a lot of the time when they look at the other candidates, you wind up shining a little bit brighter. So let's do this. We're going to look at how that's going to go. And we'll do a little storytelling on this. What's our time? We got a few more minutes. So the job hunt. Let's look at your job hunt, Jen. So you know where you want to be. Don't confuse yourself and start to look at things that aren't what you want to do. Sometimes you have to take a break from it and go back to the beginning. Sometimes you have to take a position that maybe is not exactly where you want to be so that you can kind of move up in the company to it. If you find a company that you really want to work for and they've got a position that's a little bit less than what you're used to, that still may be a viable option for you. Remember about the work-life balance and the fairness, the compensation part of it. Okay, that's going to be key because it's an employee's market right now. A lot of these companies are getting a lot of candidates. So even though the employees are running around because they have a lot of candidates, they can kind of say, well, let's give them a low ball offer and let's see if somebody is going to take it. Let's see if a fish is going to bite at this. So it's something you need to keep in mind. Looking for a new job is like a job in and of itself. It's really pretty annoying. Try not to give it up. Try not to get overwhelmed by it. Try not to be disillusioned by it. It's not something that you can accomplish in a weekend. It's not something you can accomplish in an afternoon or even on a day off. If you take a day off, you're going to have to give it some time. Certainly something will come along. It's going to take a little bit of time, but something will come along. Don't get frustrated. That's the most important thing. So that's what I have to say about that. So, and Cherie. Oh, Rebecca, you're welcome, honey. Oh, and Gilded Age Girl, thank you. They actually were very, very cool pets. Grim was almost 21, and he was a black tuxedo kitty cat. And he had an inner monologue that my husband and I still do the voices for, kind of like Alfred Hitchcock. Like it was like very deep, kind of weird voice. And Bruno was a Amstaff alleged border collie mix. He really looked like a cool little dog. But he had an English accent, and we would do his inner monologue too. So we still talk about him all the time. Actually, Grim is still around. I see him in the house a lot. So we have this one wall that we somebody gave us a thing that we had everybody sign at our wedding, and we hung it up on the wall. And so like people are like, oh, that's really cool. It looks like a kind of like a piece of fence, I guess. But everybody, signed it at the wedding. And so when we hung it on the wall, there was a bunch of people that came over and they're like, oh, I didn't get to sign that at your wedding. I didn't even know it was there. So we just gave people pens and let them start writing on the wall. We gave them like these glittery gold pens and bronze pens. So everybody writes on it. And so one of the things that we used to say about Grim, he'd go, oh, you're the worst. And so we wrote it down at the bottom of the wall, and I swear I see him all the time sitting there. I'll be cooking in the kitchen, and all of a sudden I just kind of see him like kind of walk in and hunker down, and I look over and he's not there. So I mean, people think it's crazy, but it's definitely something that we see. So now, oh, you're welcome, Rebecca. And here we go. Sherry, will your disability be approved? That's a tough one. When I was recovering from the head injury I was talking about before, I tried to get disability in California, and holy moly, they were like, nope. I gave up very quickly. I was like, all right. My doctor had suggested that I do it because I was pulled out of work. Disability be approved. Be approved. So it's still there. Oh, I'm sorry, honey. They're still taking their time on this. I know you're anxious and wringing your hands over it. It's not without a fight. Okay. You've got all your stuff in the right place. You're doing the right thing, but they're still reviewing it, and they are taking for freaking ever. This is kind of the standard for them anyway, but they're taking forever. So they're just. I honestly think they try and wait people out. Let me see if we can get anything on this. No, we still don't have a decision. There's 5 of Wands, 5 of Swords. There's still everybody. All the moving parts behind the scene are still moving. So, oh, you have a lawyer this time. That's a good thing. Okay, that's a good thing. Apparently, that's the only way you can really get disability. Now, I'm sorry that I'm laughing, but it's like completely ridiculous. All right, how is our lawyer doing? So it looks like he's going to get you some kind of an offer, some kind of a different offer. It's not going to be disability, I don't think. I think he's trying to get something else for you, or he's going to try and shift gears and get something else for you. So that is that's a little different. I'm not sure where he's going, but we're still a ways off on that, so it's still kind of foggy what he's going to do. I feel like I don't know if it's a difference between like state and federal disability or something like that. I don't know what there's something. There's like 2 different funds that he can dip into, and he's going to have to shift to the other one. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Like legally with this, but he's got like 2 different outlets that he can go to. He's fighting for you though. He's really pushing for you, and he's the right guy. Definitely the right lawyer on the case. So just stick with him, and we'll see how it comes out. So it's going to take a little bit longer. So what else do we have here? All right. Oh, we're right at 8:31. Fantastic. All right, everybody. Well, this was fun. Tell me before I log off, what'd you think of this format? If we do, like featured reading for an hour and then a half hour readings for you guys, what's everybody think? I'll stick around while you answer in the comments. Does this work for everybody? Everybody like this? And I can't remember what this Alicia said this was, but I do like it. It seems to be cleaning out my cards quite well. So this is fun. Okay. Oh, wait. Okay. I can stick around. I got like another 15 minutes. So this is Diana Michelle. Diana Michelle, what do you want to know, my darling? Do this. And oh, we'll put this on the Joseph Magi's. Let me, okay, here we go. Here we go. Oh wait, I'm sorry. What? Your name's Diana, right? Diana? Diana Michelle. Diana Michelle. All right, good vibes. Diana Michelle. Diana Michelle. Oh, well, isn't that nice? Super nice for you. Oh, you got some good cards here, girl. Good vibes all over. So we got this super helpful kid, and then we've got awesome family life, really great stuff going on, and luck is in your corner. You don't have everything that you want, but you have approximately what you want. And then we've got some changing of the guard here. So when we get the Two of Cups in reverse, that can mean like a shift of partnership, a level up in a relationship, a change of dynamic in a relationship. It can mean some cool stuff. So it looks like we've got a change of dynamic, and it's possibly the evolution of this Page of Pentacles, this young man who's industrious and hardworking and really into stuff, and turning into a more mature man who is more captain of industry, more of a guy who is going to build the lamp, turn the lights on, and get things going. More of like an Elon Musk kind of light him up guy. So we've got that. So things are looking good for you, gal. This is really good cards. What do you need to know? What does our Diana need to know? Take time to appreciate the shower of love, okay? Just take time to really enjoy that. Sometimes when things are great, you have to take a step back and give yourself a little bit of breathing room and look at it from the perspective of just outside, and like, wow, this is like really great. It's like standing at the edge of the Grand Canyon. When you're in the Grand Canyon, you're like, wow, this is really cool. I'm in the Grand Canyon and I'm hiking. But when you stand on the edge of it, when you stand at one of the vistas, one of the vista points, you really can get a super perspective of it. And that's what this says, that you just step back and you're going to look. And that's where you're going to start to build that future. And you're going to start to build the legacy that you're going to have. So if this is a relationship that you're building, it is a rock solid one. This is like love of your life. If relationship stuff is going on, you are building an amazing future. It's going to be just absolutely life-changing and super great. You got some good cards here, girl. These are some good vibes. So definitely called it. Good vibes. So there we go. That's for you, Diana. So don't forget, everybody, you can support my channel at either Venmo or PayPal. We have the scroll at the bottom, and I'm going to be checking out shortly. Oh, good, Rebecca. I'm glad you like it. Gilded Age Girl, I'm glad you like it. Cherie, you like it. Christine likes it. I'm throwing cards all over the place. And then who do we have here? Hey, oh, we are the Thelma and Louise of tarot. It's so funny because I was following Alicia before I had my channel, and there she had mentioned Tarot by Janine, who's this delightful Canadian reader. And on Friday, she has her friend Ashley comes on. They do deep dive Fridays, and it's really fun. And so, like, watching Alicia, I was like, you know what, I would like really love to like do a reading with her. Like, it would be really fun. My one of the classes that I teach tarot too. I haven't had a class scheduled for a while because I've just been a little bit deep on some other stuff. But one of the classes that I had 4 or 5 students in the Zoom, and some 2 dudes. I mean, it's an open class. Like 2 dudes dropped into it, and they were in England, and it was like the middle of the night. I'm like, what are you guys doing up? And they said, are you doing readings? And I said, well, it's actually a live class. It was a live free class. And I said, we're not doing readings. I said, but you know what? Like, everybody here is pretty advanced. So yeah, let's do a reading. And we wound up, I threw the cards, and then everybody else kind of gave their opinion of it. And I said, wow, that's like a really cool format to, do readings for people. I said, I'd love to do that. So I was going to do it with those gals, and everybody, kind of life got in the way. And so, I saw Tarot by Janine was doing it. I was like, oh, it's really fun. Like, I wish I had somebody to do that. And I like started following Alicia, and I was like, you know what? I really like her style, and I think like we could do something really fun. So after she did my reading, I threw her an email, and I was like, would you like to do a reading with me? And she was like, yeah, I've actually been thinking about it. So it was, the timing was right. And I think she's really great. So, and we have a lot of fun, it's definitely something that I look forward to on Friday night. So, it's a good time for us, good time for you guys. And, I think it throws some good vibes out in the universe. So, all right, everybody. Oh, and I'm sorry, Alonzo, I'm just going to be logging off. I gotta get to my past life study. I start studying past lives at 9:00. We'll talk about that next time. So in the comments, either on the feed now or on the replay, just let me know. If you want to continue this format. I like this format. I've been meaning to do like one night where I do readings for you guys. But I think if we start out with like a topic reading and then we go into readings for you guys, I think that's really great. So everybody have a great night. Catch me again Friday night. I think Alicia and I are doing a collaboration. I know she had some stuff going on this week, and I don't know if we scheduled one, but if we don't schedule it together, I will still do one on Friday. And certainly next Wednesday, 7:00, we'll be back here for What If Wednesdays. So thanks, everybody. Grateful for all of you. It's a really fun night. Have a good one and get some sleep.